take you to KwaZulu-Natal, where convicted child rapist Darren Goddard has been sentenced to life in prison for his crimes against young boys. He counselled at a primary school between 2012 and 2016. He also got a collective 22 years imprisonment for sexual abuse and accessing child pornography. Karinda Jagmohan is in Pietermaritzburg, and she joins us for a debrief of sorts now. Good afternoon, Karinda.
Good afternoon, Dudu. It's been a tragic morning here at the Pietermaritzburg High Court as families of the victims listened to victim impact statements where parents and young boys described how their lives were disrupted after the assault by Darren Goddard, 38-year-old, who is now trying to appeal his sentence and has asked the court to grant him an extension of bail. I'm here with Frans Bezuidenhout. He's speaking out on behalf of some of the families that have been affected. Sir, thank you for speaking to us. Your frustration right now, I saw you're trying to speak to the prosecutor about a way forward. Tell me about what's happening at court for you.
Well, this matter, as well known by now, started in 2011. In 2017, the trial started. 7 years ago. Last week, my grandson turned 12. He was 5 when he was abused. Now, 7 years later, we're still at court, constantly coming back to court, case being remanded. This man, the accused, was convicted for these charges a year ago. Sentence dragged on for a whole year until this morning when Judge Pillay decided it's now time she is going to sentence him. You were present in court when you heard all the grievous, bad circumstances in which these children find themselves now, and the parents. There's some of the parents that's actually split up in a divorce case because of what happened, that couldn't handle the trauma at home with their children. Now, I can't believe that the judge will even accommodate at this stage, after a year of considering the sentence, the arguments offered by Mr. Matthews, which grants him the mere fact that he attended court all the time. He knew that if he didn't attend court all the time, he would have been arrested and placed in custody. So he at least complied to that bail conditions. But like Mr. Truter said, circumstances have now dramatically changed. This man is now facing a sentence of approximately 42 years on all the counts that he was sentenced to that. Now the court wants to entertain a possibility that he could be leaving out on bail again. The most scary part of that consideration that came to mind is that I've spoken to some of the parents, and as you noted, in court today there's only 3 victims' parents here. The parents have given up. They don't even attend court anymore. They expected another remand. And just as well, because if he gets granted bail today, how disappointed and sad would you think that would impact on the parents that's waiting for justice to be served?
Sir, the children, are they fearing the fact that this now convicted rapist and now sentenced is out on bail, and the fact that they might see him again? We heard this as well in court.
That has been mentioned to me, yes. Not in all the cases, but in one specific case that was mentioned. The concern is for all the parents, and the parents out there who was not involved in this case. We don't know, and it was said in court today. There was nothing mentioned in court today what his actions have been since he was released and convicted on bail. He's now a convicted sexual abuser of minor children, all of them very young. In my mind, and I'm not a legal expert, in my mind, if you get convicted for at least 5 or 6 counts of sexual abuse and in one case an actual rape, surely you must be classified as some sort of pedophile, which is not a curable matter. A pedophile can never be cured, and there's law, and it's a common known fact. Now this man is out there on bail. Is he being monitored? What has he been doing? We don't know. We don't know what danger could be lying ahead for any one of these children, whether he's going to try and make contact with them, whether they bump into him in a shopping mall. We don't know where he is and what he's going to do. All we wanted is for justice to be served. And unfortunately, we're losing hope now.
Certainly, we heard in court about a young child who's now 17 and he attempted suicide. He's addicted to alcohol and drugs. from your perspective, how are the children currently, and are they aware of what's happening?
Well, let me tell you, in my case, I've never seen such a happy child go to a child where he has to get depression, antidepressants, of a child from 5, 6 years old. Must now be on antidepressants because of what happened to him. It's terrible. And in this case, where this child tried to commit suicide, that's 18 years old already. If 7 years ago this man was convicted, closure could have been found. You know, closure could have been found, and maybe he could have handled the thing in a different way. And the relationship with him and this accused was very much closer than just the school. He was a family friend. And he still abused that situation as well. Now he's out there. And this is what was mentioned in court today, that the child actually loved him. He respected him as an adult figure. And in the meantime, this was happening to him until this accused confessed to the mother what he was doing.
Sir, thank you for speaking to us. We'll also continue speaking to you as this case continues. Mr. Frans Bezuidenhout, he's speaking on behalf of some of the victims, the families, and it has been a tearful day inside court, just hearing how young children, young boys have had their lives destroyed after what happened. Darren Goddard was convicted last year on account of rape, sexual assault and accessing child pornography. His bail was granted because at the time the NPA said, well, he attended court meticulously. But for the families, as you just heard, they fear of what he would be doing outside court and whether or not the young boys would run into him again. A number of children have had their lives destroyed, and right now at 2 o'clock we'll hear again from the judge whether or not she will grant leave to the defense to appeal the sentencing of life imprisonment for rape and several counts of imprisonment for sexual assault and child pornography, as well as extend his bail conditions, which means he would not be going to prison until his appeal is heard. We'll hear about that at 2 o'clock.
We'll touch base with you then. Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you very much.